Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates fight night is upcoming this weekend, and I'm gonna come in here with the greatest picks of all time because you guys know that's my that's my responsibility. Listen, this card's actually not that bad. Like, it's really top heavy. I think the main card specifically is really solid. As you can see here, like, you see some notable names. Like, as you scroll through the main card, every name is notable and impressive on the main card. Every single one. Then we get to the prelims. It's like, brother, who this guy, bro? I swear Pollyanna Vienna just retired. Unless there's another, like, one of those pretty girls who just... Oh, it's Diane. I'm tripping. Anyways, starting off with the first fight of the night. We'll open up with a banger, bro. Michael Chandler's sister versus Jocelyn Edwards. That's not actually Michael Chandler's sister. I just thought I'd joke. But, bro, I'll be real. I seen this Edwards girl. She's a really good striker from what I remember. Like, her striking output and her striking skills is really impressive. And she knows how to use her range really well. I don't know much about Chelsea Chandler aside from the fact that she's Michael Chandler's sibling, but I think I'm gonna follow the odds here. I don't really care too much about this fight. Like I said, I only know Jocelyn Edwards before what I've seen from her. Her kickboxing is really good and she uses her range well. A lot of women don't use range well. They don't like sit outside and low kick, you know, boom boom when they enter, like 1-2 sharp. She's really sharp, she's really quick, she's gonna have the speed advantage over Chandler. I'm assuming Chandler better know how to wrestle. She never mind. I was gonna check if she could wrestle. She couldn't even wrestle. Yeah, Chelsea Chandler's getting smoked then because he's gonna have to have a kickboxing match primarily with Edwards, and it's going to be Edwards just picking her apart at range. It's going to be a pretty easy fight, so I am going to go Jocelyn Edwards for probably UD because I feel like with women's fights, decisions are probably always guaranteed, you know. Oh my goodness. You know, Roberto Romero, man, I don't know if him and his barber got in a fight, bro. No way in 2025. Why does he look? Do you guys see his hairline, brother? Oh my God, what is that? Timmy Cumba is winning. There's no way someone with this hairline's winning. Surely not. They're both coming off of losses. They're not that great. You know, Romero is Mexican. You know, a Mexican with a bad haircut, that's going to be an angry Mexican in my opinion. I feel like a Mexican with because if you think about it, they already fight with like high guard coming forward. He's going to have a chin. Jokes aside, I've seen a little bit about Timmy Cumba. I don't really remember much about Roberto Romero. There's no way I would forget that hairline. Maybe I do, you know. I don't remember a fight that I know they're both coming off of losses. I don't remember how he looked. But he is the Mexicanness in him and honestly the hairline. It's making me think he's gonna be tricky to deal with, like the pressure and the pace. But like I said, I don't really know much about either guy, so I'm not gonna come on here and lie to you guys. I didn't even watch film on either guy either. But I'm just following Timmy Cumba because his hairline's just better. You know, this is a vibe. Okay, I'm vibe maxing here. We're gonna get into the solitary picks later on, but I'm vibe maxing here. Here, actually, no, it's funny because I know more about these two than I do about the guys I just seen. Jacqueline Amorin versus Pollyanna Vienna. Pollyanna Vienna is like one of those like cosplaying, yeah, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna look pretty, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look good, like, you know what I'm saying? But Jacqueline looks better, and Jacqueline's actually she's more well-rounded. She could strike well, she could grapple when needed. She's gonna be physically stronger. She's gonna have the height disadvantage. Pollyanna Vienna is gonna be a little bit longer and taller, but the way Jacqueline strikes, she has a good like entry and exit with her, and I feel like she might have the speed over Polly and the power over Polly Vienna. But you know, Polly Vienna, you know, she used to spend time with Shama. You know, I don't know what they were doing, dude. Like, Pereira thinks it's already bad, man, but you're not cracking that. You probably did. But I think Jacqueline's gonna go in there and kind of just beat her everywhere. I do think she's gonna be clinching and wrestling a lot more, which makes me a lot more comfortable in picking her to win this fight because I do know she mixes it up when necessary, and she's gonna mix it up because Pollyanna Vienna, she's a decent striker. Her BJJ is not horrible, but like the strength disadvantage she will probably have under Jacqueline is gonna be really significant to the point where I think Jacqueline, wherever she wants this fight to go, she will take it, and I think this is a comfortable pick. I don't know the odds though. Yeah, minus 550. Well, I guess they know as much as I do. So I got Jacqueline Amorin winning that. Okay. See, you know, Cameron Slayman, man, I swear he was supposed to be the next big thing. Going against Malcolm Welmaker, who did win in the Dana White Contender Series. He looks pretty solid. You know, to be fair with Cameron, it's like maybe we just overrate. He doesn't look horrible necessarily. He just gets caught sometimes, and you just like, you know, he's okay though. He's okay. This is an interesting fight here because I feel like this is a wake up call for Samman. They're giving him someone coming off the Dana White Contender Series off of one win. Only saw his fight in Dana White. I didn't see any other fight and he has prior, so I don't know too much about him. I do know Cameron has kind of went against some decent competition, so I feel as if we might be surprised that Cameron Saman's going to get it done. I actually don't know the odds. They're not available, but I do think I'm going to lean Cameron Saman. He's a pretty well-rounded guy, you know. I just feel like sometimes he's in weird positions and he just gets caught, or like he just seems a little bit out of it. But I feel like this is a wake-up call for him, and this is the UFC trying to say, listen, bro, you have potential, brother. Your best friend's a champion, brother. Why can't you be a little more like him, you know? Just be more like be more like DDP. You can't train with DDP. I mean, I guess you can, because DDP is not the most skilled, you know. Unironically, Cameron Saman looks a little bit more skilled than, not a little bit more. He looks more skilled and technical than DDP. It's just that I guess he's missing the heart element and maybe the brute strength element for his weight class. But, you know, let's see what he does. I am going to lean Cameron Saman against Malcolm Welmaker, because he did win his Dana White Contender Series debut. But a lot of these debutants in the UFC, they just look a little bit lackluster. I feel like Malcolm Welmaker might be one of those as well. So I'm going to lean Cameron Saman for this fight. Ooh, the Chinaman versus Damon Blacksher. Damon Blacksher, I always like watching a Damon Blacksher fight. I actually wonder I'm sure the odds are going to be pretty close for this fight. It's not available, but I'm assuming it's going to be close. The Chinaman's going to come forward. He's going to be aggressive, and he's going to try to chase a finish. Damon Blacksher is going to be a little bit more on the back foot, but he's going to pick his shots a lot better. I like Damon Blacksher's striking style as well as his grappling. His wrestling's not the best, but his grappling, like, he could find submissions at weird angles, you know. I think he has a twister finish as well, you know. He's just one of those tricky people to deal with. So I feel as overall, this fight's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a little bit of a bull versus a matador. I feel like, I'm not even trying to butcher. I'm going to keep calling him the Chinaman. I'm not trying to Strickland Max, but I'm not trying to butcher that. Like, brother, listen, I'm not doing this right now. I do think Damon Blacksher, though, is going to be the more well-rounded fighter from the two. I've seen a little bit of this China guy. I do know he's aggressive and just like every other Chinese fighter. And he's going to come forward and try to make it a dogfight. But I feel like Blacksher is going to be a little bit more technical, a little bit quicker in the hands. And I feel like if he does get taken down, which is a possibility, I think he could threaten with a lot of subs. So I'm going to go Damon Blacksher, because I feel like overall he's just a more well-rounded fighter out of the two. Ooh, Chris Gutierrez is back, isn't he? Okay, we got Chris Gutierrez and Josh Castana. Josh Castane's he's built like a Oompa Loompa, bro. But he's tough. He's tough from the fights I've seen. He's short. He's 5'6". He's listed at 5'6". He's not the tallest guy in his fights. He doesn't look that tall and rangy. Chris Gutierrez is like, he's more of a veteran, you know. When you put him against a young buck, he'll look a little bit horrible. Then you put him against someone who's just around his skill set, he looks a lot better. I feel like this is someone like around his skill set, and Josh Castana. So I feel like he's gonna actually be able to compete at like a level that we're used to seeing him compete at when he's looking good. That being said, it's still a close fight. He does have the age disadvantage here. You know, Josh Castana could be a problem as far as his pressure is concerned. But like I feel as if Gutierrez is on, he's gonna be on. But I don't know why I have a gut feeling that Castana is going to be a little bit too much for him. I don't know why I have that feeling. It's just in my gut. Do I follow my gut, though, you know? I don't know if I should follow my gut here. But I really feel as if something about John, I just think he might be too imposing when he gets the pressure on Gutierrez. I've seen Gutierrez like dissolve kind of to pressure and not like it. I know Castana's going to bring that, but is he going to do enough early? But then again, if Gutierrez gets going, he's going to get going. And he's kind of hard. Like I said, against younger comp, he looks so bad compared to like how he does against people around his skill. So I don't really know what to take from that. I'm going to lean Chris Gutierrez just because, like I said, he might be more skilled, but I just don't know if the pressure of Castana might break him. But if Castana comes out there and shits the bed, I think should be a comfortable win for Gutierrez. So I guess Gutierrez has more paths to victory, so I'm going to lean him. Yeah. All right, Gage Young. Gage Young lost his Dana White Contender Series debut, by the way, versus Evan Elder. I know he's coming off a win. I forgot against who, but I don't know much about either guy. I just remember seeing this guy losing Dana White Contender Series, so I'm curious. I mean, he's getting a shot. You know, maybe they just needed a fight to fill in, but you know, yeah, like I said about these Dana White Contender Series debutants, bro. Like, if you're losing in the Dana White Contender Series and then making your debut, good luck, bro. These guys are winning and making their debut. They're getting exposed. I'm going to go Evan Elder just via experience. He's more experienced in the UFC. I know I'm just experience maxing for this one, but, like, I feel like experience is a very important thing in the UFC. And I feel like this Gage Young guy, fucking no neck having, he's not going to have what it takes to beat Evan Elder, who's not even that great of a fighter. Okay, Matt Schnell, bro. Matt Schnell, Mr. Hit or Miss versus Jimmy Flick. Flick is a marauder. Schnell is like a little bit of a safe, like, let me stick and move, and when I'm in the pocket, let me go for it. I feel like he gets a lot of crap for getting knocked out by Urseg, but Urseg got some quick hands. Jimmy Flick's not powerful in any way, but like he could put a good amount of volume on you to make you start second guessing what you want to do. That's what I feel. So it's gonna come down honestly to who's winning the pocket exchanges, where I feel like Schnell will be winning because I feel like he's a little bit more sharp and like technical, but I feel like Flick's pressure just bothers people. But then Schnell does have kind of a grappling when he needs to, you know. So it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I wonder how it's gonna play on the feet. Like I wonder if Schnell might be too much for Flick on the feet. But Flick can't take a good punch, but he could get knocked out. He could also get submitted. I just feel like Schnell has more passive victories: knockout, submitted, decision. I feel like Schnell should win this. I don't know the odds for this. Okay, they have Schnell favorable. Yeah, I think Schnell's probably gonna get it done against Jimmy Flick. It'll be an interesting fight. I want to see how Jimmy Flick could take a punch and if he could keep progressing forward. But Schnell will walk you down as well. So that might be a barn burner. That's probably a feature. That is a feature prelim. All right. Bro, what, 10 attempts later? How long have you been trying to get Iram and Andre Munoz to fight, bro? Munoz and Iram, bro, I swear, I think it's been 3 canceled fights. I could be wrong. But this is a matchup I want to see. You guys know, if you guys know me, if you've been following me for a long time, I used to say the most unbeatable middleweight ever to exist, Iram Al-Skurov, the only man to make Hamza go 0-for-7 in takedown attempts. Like, the thing about Iram, I guess that there's a disconnect between us, because I know how good he is. You guys know that Iram is the most accomplished Sambo athlete in UFC history, including Islam and Khabib. He's more accomplished than both of them in Sambo. The thing about Iram is he doesn't like to grapple. I think he's fell in love with his striking, which I don't mind. You could fall in love with your striking if your striking was like you know, Ilya fell in love with his striking, even though he was like a little bit more of a wrestling base, but he was really good at striking. I'm not saying Ikram's bad at striking. I think Iram has good power, but he's so he's so awkwardly like floppy and like phalange all over. Like, it's just weird how he strikes. I feel like his footing's never set. You know, he's not a bad fighter though. Like, he's really good. I just know his striking is a little bit, to fall in love with your striking and for it to look like that's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit weird. Of course, he's coming off a knockout loss against Robert Whittaker. Munis is coming off a win. Munis, on paper, has the momentum. But I'll be real, like, this should be an easy master class for my boy Iram. Can Iram clinch? I want to see Iram initiate one clinch. He hasn't wrestled once or initiated clinch once since being in the UFC. With a Sambo background that evident. Is he, what's going on, dog? Come on, Iram, brother. Let's stall it then. Let's wrestle. I don't usually beg fighters to wrestle. I'm begging you to wrestle. Iram, I just want to see it from you. I just want to, like, can he knock out Munis? Maybe, but why are you going to make the fight a lot closer than it needs to be? I guess that's my take on it. Like, you don't need to do all this, so why make the fight closer? Just go in there, do what you do best, and get the job done, and then go home, brother. You know, have some food a little bit, go back, Dagestan forgets. Why you want to be different? Like, don't be who you are, Iram. Just be the best fighter on the planet. Listen, I still have high hopes for him. His chin's obviously, I guess you could say questionable, because there's only 2 losses. He got knocked out, Hamza and Whittaker. Whittaker doesn't really have one punch power, and he kind of made Whittaker look powerful, but I don't think his chin's a horrible problem. I think he should beat Munis. If he loses to Munis, oh my God, this is going to be the biggest wasted potential. I don't even know what to say, you know. It'll be crazy. But listen, I really still have hype with it. I still believe in the hype. I'm still going to be on the Iram train. I still back him to put the beats on him like Dr. Dre. You know, hands on him. Lots of bass. So I'm going Iram Al-Skurov. I love him so much, man. I still love the dude, bro. He just got to wake up. I don't know. Hold on. I just need to talk to him one more time before I go to the next fight. Yo, Iram, this is a message to you. I hope someone sends this to you, brother. Wake up, brother. You're one of the best, brother. Just be you. Be you. Don't be no one else. You're not the striker, brother. Let's wrestle. Look at the odds, by the way. Anyways, this fight's interesting, man. Why is it not loading? The one thing about this fight, first of all, when this starts loading, when the loading actually gets, okay, let's reload the page then. Like, I'm sorry, chat. It's just like, of course, technical difficulty is going to happen when my favorite fighter's up. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby, who did not lose to Renat in his last fight. Dalby's like on a 6-fight win streak. And honestly, you want to talk about not losing? I don't really think Randy Brown lost to Brian Battle. I think Brian Battle, who came in overweight and just started hugging him and clinching him the whole time, knew he couldn't deal with the length and the striking, and he lost. So both guys coming off of wins, even though they're coming off of losses. This fight's tough, dude. Dalby's a tank, dude. He'll walk forward. He'll initiate clinches. He's strong physically. You know, he's going to try to wrestle. He's going to wrestle with Randy Brown because Randy Brown's really good at using his range and just landing shots from the outside. His 1-2 is really sharp. When he gets into flow state and starts moving, he's really a problem. He is 6'3" for the weight class, which is pretty tall for welterweight. And I feel like he's one of those few who uses range really well. So he's going to be stronger. He's going to be longer. He might not be stronger, but he's going to be longer. and his punches, like when he connects with you though, with his 1-2s especially, it really puts a lot of people to sleep. Dalby's gonna be in trouble. Dalby could take some damage, but you know it's gonna be tough to take some of those rangy 1-2s coming from Randy Brown. So it's gonna be interesting in that aspect. Now, Dalby's gonna come forward. He's gonna wrestle. He can strike. Dalby's not bad at striking, but he's gonna want to wrestle a lot more against like a Randy Brown. He's not someone who shoots a lot of takedowns, but I guarantee he's gonna be in the clinch a lot. He's gonna try to smother and just take away the range advantage that Randy Brown has, and I know he's gonna try to do that. It's actually one of Randy Brown's tougher fights. You know, honestly, I think it's gonna be a harder fight on paper than Brian Battle, who's known for being a striker, but was trying to hug him against the fence the whole time. Same with Dalby. Dalby's gonna be a little bit more stocky, a little bit stronger. Dalby is 5'10" though, compared to Randy Brown 6'3". So to close that range, good luck, Dalby. I'll be real. You're gonna eat a lot of oblique kicks because Randy Brown uses that kick well, and the teep kicks and the long range kicks. So good luck to Dalby, dude. He's gonna need it. I am gonna go Randy Brown by KO points. I do think Randy Brown just is a little bit too much for a Dalby. Dalby's still very impressive, but I just think Randy Brown's a real bad man. You get me, bro? Yeah, better get me, bro. Real ass clap bad man, bro. He's gonna get it done. Randy Brown's just too much. He's a really good fighter. I still have high hopes for him. He's still a dark horse in the welterweight division. It's just that, like, you know, if you miss weight like Brian Battle, you get to hug him a little bit easier. This is my opinion, brother. Moving on. Sheesh, bro. This fight is actually a bit. Why does it keep doing that reload glitch? It's weird. Yeah, this fight, man. Like, Michael Pereira is coming off that loss against Fluffy, right? When Fluffy was just manhandling him for the entirety of the fight. The fight was kind of stopped a little bit prematurely, in my opinion. Then Aboose is coming off a win in momentum. Aboose does not look necessarily bad. You know, the success that Fluffy had, can Aboose have it to an extent? Yes. Like, he could have success wrestling and taking him down, but can he do that at the pace of Fluffy? No, because the cardio is different. It's going to be interesting. This fight's very, like, it's interesting, because I do think Michael Pereira is still tough when you can't take him down. He's strong and he's athletic, so he's not easy to take down in the first round, you know, but they both have kind of an endurance problem. I think Michael Pereira, I don't want to say might have a better endurance, but even though he was getting mauled by Fluffy, he never really was giving up on himself. I noticed that, but that's easy to do in wrestling. Like, not give up on yourself when you're getting mauled. It sounds crazy, but it is low-key easier, like, just staying up and, like, trying to fight through it than, like, actually throwing back offense. Because, like, he was, like, trying to stuff the takedowns. He wasn't. He was trying to get up, even if he did, though, he wasn't doing anything offensively. So Aboose is going to need to go in there and wrestle, and he's going to try to do that. But as far as the striking is concerned, I think he's got to be very careful. They're both really explosive in the first round. Aboose has kind of took a turn where he's starting to be less explosive in the first round and calm down, where Michael Pereira is always going to be explosive and dangerous. He's going to jump into a lot of flying stuff. Aboose got to be wary of that. It's going to be a close fight, dude. It's going to come down to if Aboose could take him down and control him. But I feel like physically, Michael Pereira might be a little bit too strong, so I feel like it might be a hard fight. It's a tough fight to call, though. It's a tough fight to call. Like I said, really tough. And I like Aboose, you know. Like, who wins though? Like why are you asking me, bro? It's like, who wins? It's like, all right, bro. All right, buddy. If I had to pick, if I'm like more comfortable with the side, I can't lie, I feel like I'd be more inclined to picking Michael Pereira, because I feel like physically he might be a little bit too strong. Even if he is able to take it down, I just don't think he's going to hold him there for a long period of time, or hold him there enough to steal rounds. He might sneak takedowns in, but I think Michael Pereira might. You know what? Am I sleeping on Aboose though? Am I sleeping on Aboose striking and like endurance and wrestling? Because he could strike as well, you know. He could strike as well. It's a tough fight, dude. It's a tough fight. It really is a tough fight. You know what though? I'm switching up in the middle of it. I'm going Aboose, because Aboose can strike enough with him, you know. I'm thinking about it now. They can strike and kind of go tit for tat, and then Aboose can mix in wrestling. But can Aboose survive if he gets caught? This fight's hard, dude. It's hard. The odds are close, too. Like, Michael Pereira is a slight favorite, which I get. It makes sense. It's a hard fight to look at. I think Aboose might be running a second wave, though. I'm going Aboose. Gut feeling. I follow the gut feeling here. I didn't really think stylistic. I think more gut feeling, so I'm going Aboose. Next fight, we got Giga versus David Oyama. Oyama looks good. He's riding momentum. I ain't gonna lie. Oyama's little, like, when he copied Izzy, that was the most aureless thing I've ever seen in my life. That had no aura behind it. That was kind of cringe. But Oyama, I like him. I'm jacking the style. Giga looked bad against Arnold Allen, chat. He did not look good. He, like, kind of broke to pressure. Oyama might be too much for him. I think Oyama's at that point of his career. He's coming up, and Giga like took too much time off. Came back against Allen, just didn't look like he had it anymore. I think this is just like a passing of the torch moment as far as striking concerned. Oyama's going to be very powerful. He might catch him and rock and finish Giga. So I'm going Oyama by KO points. Even though it's close odds, I do think Oyama might be a steal to some kind of degree, because I feel like the way Giga looked in his last fight, he can't be breaking the pressure that easily. He came out a little bit decent in the first round, but that little kick style that Giga has, I just think the longevity caught up to him. I feel like he can't move as well as he used to. So I'm gonna go David Oyama for this fight, and I'm pretty certain of this one. Wow, man, on paper, why are you not retired yet? Like, you're going against the big Chinaman. The Chinaman's gonna knock this dude out, probably out cold. No, he's not gonna. He's gonna drop him, and he's gonna hit some follow-up punches, and Smith's gonna act like he's fighting back, and then the fight's gonna get stopped, and he's gonna be like, "What? Why'd you stop the fight?" That's what I think's gonna happen. I think Mangyang is actually a really tough. Like, he's a heavy hitter. I hear a plane outside. I think he's a heavy hitter. And I just think he's gonna just be too much for Anthony Smith, who just should be retired. 38-21, what a record, bro. Losing over 20 times in the big 2025, brother. Why are you still here? I don't know why this is even a co-main either. I guess because they know Mangyang's gonna knock out Anthony Smith, but I can't wait to see that. I'm not a huge Anthony Smith guy. Now, Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. I already made a video on this, talking about how stylistically he's not what people think. Ian Garry's really good. His loss against, of course, Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think he had a lot of success, and I feel like the things he had success in, like the when he took his back, when he had him against the fence sometimes, when he was striking with him, he's gonna have that success against Prates as well, but tenfold. When he gets Prates' back, because I think it's a matter of when. I think he's gonna find a submission on someone like Prates, who is a pretty good striker, but was getting tagged up by Neil Magny, bro, just because Lil Magny's long. But, oh yeah, man, Kenny, he knocked you out, Kenny. Listen, bro, he knocked out Magny, chat, but he was getting tagged up by Magny when Magny would blitz. Like, I feel as if, yes, Prates does good when he's dictating. If Prates is winning a hand fight and dictating pressure, he usually does well in the striking. But since Ian Garry's 6'3" and he's 6'1", he's not going to be the longer guy. Like, I feel like he's used to being the longer guy. The only time he wasn't the longer guy was really against Magny, and Magny was able to have straight punches land on him. And what Magny did that was wrong is that he was breaking into pressure. Like, he would let Prates back him up. Like I said, if you let Prates dictate the pace against you, like dictate the pace, he's going to just do whatever he wants to you. Ian Garry's not the type to just back up against the fence like this. I don't know what Neil Magny's plan was. It just, like, sometimes he'll blitz him. When he blitzed him, he'd do good, but then when he was running away, he was just getting beat up. It's embarrassing, So I feel as if, dude, like, Ian Garry's gonna be too much. Like, Ian Garry on the striking, honestly, I think he's gonna land better shots, and I think he's gonna land shots, and after the shots, he's going to go straight into an entry. Not even to take him down sometime, but to put him against the fence and just make it ugly. He's going to grind him out. Let's see if Cigarette Boy over here can fight for 25 minutes. I bet you guys, oh, man, he's so cool smoking cigs every day, man. He's such a cool cowabunga dude. All right, cool. We'll see how much cigarette smoking helps you in a 25-minute fight against Ian Garry, who I know is going to be conditioned and ready, well prepared for this fight. And this is short notice on Ian Garry, which just makes the win that much better. Ian Garry could beat him on 1 day's notice. I'm not really worried about the short notice, like, dilemma. Ian Garry's one of those people who puts himself, like, I don't know if you like or hate Ian Garry. I think he's overhated, honestly. I feel as if, like, he doesn't duck no fades, bro. And I feel like Carlos Prates he's so used to going against old heads or people on their way out who are ass, and now he's going against, like, a young buck who's really good, and they're gonna be so surprised. What are the odds for this shit? Oh, I'm putting the house on Garry, because it shouldn't be this close. It shouldn't be this close, bro. It's gonna be one of those fights, chat, that, like, I swear, like, third round, you're gonna be like, why is Prates, like, running away? Why does he look so tired? Why is Prates? And the fourth round comes, and he's gonna finish. This guy's not going to have the gas tank for Ian Garry. I'm so confident in Ian Garry. I hope the odds sway. I hope Prates becomes a favorite so I can say this is an underdog lock. This is a lock of the card, though. I'll say that much. It's a lock of the card. Ian Garry's 100% going to beat Neil Magny. I'm not worried in the slightest. There's not a single ounce of me like, oh my God, Ian Garry might lose. That's just not a case, It's like, this is not an old man, like trust me when I say, chat, this is a lock. I'm not worried about the result. I know it's going to either be by sub or points. Maybe Garry could TKO him. I've seen Prates, like, when he's getting pressure, sometimes quit on himself, like, prior to the UFC. I know people change, but I'm saying, like, when you're tired, he's never been that tired before, like, in a 5-round fight. So when that tired comes around, but this time's a 25-minute fight, mentally he's going to be broken already, and then he might just shell up, and then Ian Garry finishes him. So I might just go Ian Garry money line. But honestly, dude, Ian Garry could beat him any way, any shape, in any form. I do think Ian Garry's going to win this fight. I don't think it's particularly close. I don't think it's one of those fights that are close. Maybe the first round might be interesting because it might be a point fight maxing, but even then, Ian Garry could steal rounds with his point fighting. Like I said, he's longer, he's rangier. He's gonna make it a living hell for Carlos Prates. Ian Garry 100% wins this fight. Anyone saying Prates wins, you're gonna look so dumb afterwards. So just don't say it. Trust me. I'm not even trying to sound like I'm the smartest man in the world, but like stylistically, Prates has no chance, not even puncher's chance. And Ian Garry could take a punch. He's been dropped before and went through reverse. He could take a punch. We'll see Prates when he's tired and he's taking some punches and taking some damage, getting grappled by Ian Garry and getting submitted and rear naked choked. I think a rear naked choke just sounds good. I honestly think he might rear naked choke him. So yeah, this is an easy pick for me. I got Ian Garry probably by sub or points. As far as a parlay is concerned, like if I were to make a parlay, I'd probably go Jocelyn Edwards. Then I'll go Ikram Al-Skurov, Randy Brown, David Oyama, and then I'll add Ian Garry to that parlay. But these are my picks down below. Let me know what you guys think. I think I'm gonna cook on this card. I don't know about 100% because some of those goofy prelim fights, but the main card I'll definitely cook on. The Aboose Michael Pereira is the only thing I'm kind of nervous with in the main card. But listen, bro, Ian Garry at the end of the day is gonna destroy Carlos Prates. That's what you should take away from this video, if anything. But that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and God bless. 2, 3.